Hello. And yeah, happy Friday. Good to see you, Jade. Welcome, Wildfire. Hello, Luna. Give a few people time to get in here. We got people jumping in already. Again, do remember we are actually going to be on a topic tonight, so let's try and keep the questions within the topic. If we have time at the end and we run out of questions on topic, we'll open a Q&A at that time. Till then, please keep the questions on topic as best we can, okay? Few things that we do need to get through. I got asked in email twice this week. Yes, you can still get these cups. Just go to workingdragonmystic.com. You'll see a merch tab. We have coffee cups. The amount of you who are interested in Working Dragon Mystic neck gaiters or the masks, those are in the works. Hopefully, I actually want to have an announcement Sunday. I was told we won't have an announcement until next Friday, but we'll see what I can do. Okay. Let's see. We got a few more people jumped in. Hey, Bernaldus, good to see you. Dimension Diver, welcome. So, with that said, also, I have to apologize. I have almost lost an entire week of filming. It has been crazy. Next time I set a deadline for filming a class on the second half of the year, Halloween, November, December, the dark side of the year, tell me I'm an idiot. Just straight. You're an idiot. You're busy that time of year. Don't do it. Because, yeah, it's been crazy. That said, though, I am still working to get the tarot class out close to Halloween, if not still a little bit before or on Halloween. That is still my goal. I don't know. This loss of filming week is going to hurt us a little. So I do apologize for the delay on that, everyone. So with that topic, today's topic, I actually got several emails and messages this week that decided this topic. I have gotten a lot of emails asking about the connection and the link between magic and the natural world, protecting Mother Nature, recycling. And I've also got to hear some recorded conversations of some people who disagreed on this topic in certain areas. And well, let's just say they were rude, just downright rude. And I do understand why this topic comes up so often in so many different places, but I also think that it's largely misunderstood. So that's actually going to be where we're going to get started. But to open up the floor a little bit, let's actually talk about that connection. Now, you will have a lot of people who will tell you that in order to practice magic, you must 100% be an environmentalist, you must protect the environment, you must recycle. And you will have people who tell you magic will only work within the natural world. You can't imbue a plastic item with magic. They just start putting all these arbitrary limitations upon magic. Here's the thing: magic don't care. Magic does not care. In the Dragon Magic 101 path working, I show you my walking stick that, or my cane, that is linked with my staff. That is made of a composite plastic to be extremely durable for many reasons. And it honestly took energy far easier than some natural materials I know. There is actually no material that I have encountered that is energy blocking, energy stopping, energy. It won't do it. Just not there. And one of the reasons this is important, we have a lot of people who live in cities, they live in urban areas and all this, and they're like, I can't practice magic. I don't have a forest. I don't have this. You don't need it. You don't need it. I don't care if you are in the most polluted city in the world on the 200th story in a freaking smog cloud. You can still do magic. You can still do magic. Granted, you might not want to open your window, but you can do magic. So, that's what we're going to be talking a little bit about here tonight, because we are going to try and dispel some of these myths and some of the things around it. For a big example is people think that the Fae will only deal with the natural world. The Fae love cities. They absolutely adore them. They're full of so many shiny curiosities and lights and just general energy that an entity like the Fae they're absolutely going to love. Now, there's been a lot of theories put out as to why we got this connection between magic and the natural world. And the big ones, we'll touch on the big ones here, is that um, when Wicca started making its comeback and started getting popular, was also kind of lined up right there with the hippie generation. So the two of them just kind of pushed right along side by side together. And since Wicca is a nature based religion, remember, Wicca is not necessarily magical practice. You can be Wiccan and never practice magic. And you can practice magic and never be Wiccan. Um, that nature based side of it, along with that culture, just kind of pushed forward and came up into the oh, look at that. I still got grill soap marks all over me. Um, sorry about that. So that kind of formatted the forefront of what the information and data was. Um, and because of that, a lot of people did get it in their heads that magic and Wicca and the way that the Wiccan religion was set up was one and the same and could not be separated. All right, now with that basic understanding of what we got going on, oh no, I was cleaning the grill. See, you can, yeah, there it is. So I got like black smudgy marks on me. I thought I got them off. So with that, let's open the floor to a bit of questions if you got them on this. And you'll see this pop up a lot over time for different reasons. Let's see what we got. We got some more people jumping in here. I need to say hello to while you guys are thinking your questions. Oliver, good to see you. Birdie, welcome back. You like that background? Scripps, good to see you. Peachy, glad you can make it. We are much less people than normally. Yeah. This time of year, sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low. People get busy. And I'm actually waiting to see if our numbers go down because we have a topic. I know a lot of people who like to come in here and just spam questions, and that's great. We love to answer questions. But that we are going to try and cover some of these topics over the month. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Let's see. KRY, good to see you. Poor Noldes. Yeah, people disagreeing. I tell you, that's crazy, ain't it? Mugs up to you too, Stuart. Hey, Stuart. Good to see you. Hope you're staying dry sorry about that. Jamie, I literally looked at your name, but for some reason, ugh. Mugs up to you both. Jamie, hopefully you're all right down there in Louisiana. I got friends and family down there. That storm's got to gave some people a rough time. Coffee's good tonight, though. So let's see. And we had somebody say hello from Philadelphia. That was Dimension Diver. Hey, good to see you. It's amazing to see how spread out the Working Dragon Mystic community really is. Birdie Buns, you don't do much nature magic because you live out in the desert, and in the summer it's yes, in summer in Arizona. Oh, I did a survival training course for desert out in the summer in Arizona, and that was miserable. Um, The key with nature magic in any place, Birdie, is to work with the environment you're in if you're going to do nature magic. So, by and large, you just need to get out there into the environment and nature and do it, or, and in Arizona, this might be preferred, bring it in. Bring it in. So if you can get you a cactus or a house plant, like me, it'd have to be a cactus. I'd kill a house plant in a heartbeat. Or if you seriously, I could probably kill a cactus. Bring some rocks in. Bring something from nature in. Dry a good dried piece of wood, even, and set your workspace up with pieces from nature. Is a great way to bring it into a shaded or cooler spot, and hopefully your air conditioner is running. Uh, so that you can do the nature magic there. You don't necessarily have to get out there. It can be nice to get out there by all means, but it is also one of those things where you don't have to. And in many cases, especially when you're having to dodge, sun and heat stroke and stuff like that, it's probably better that you don't, depending on what the heat index is like out there at that particular time. So I would actually work on bringing it in. Your other option would be to use some form of symbolism to connect to it. Those energy patterns will still be there, Birdie, and you can still grasp them and harness them even from the inside in the air conditioning. Let's see here. Well, first off, Adam, we're on topic. Stay on topic. We're talking about nature and magic, not deities and Christian beliefs right now. So let's see, where were we? Let's see, wildfire. I don't know if this fits, but I wanted to practice fairy magic. Do I have to have plants and stuff growing around me? That fits perfect, wildfire. And no, you do not. Again, Fae are these creatures that we have plugged into our environment, and we think that Fae and nature spirits are one and the same. They aren't. You do see a lot of nature spirits that inhabit both our world as well as the Fae wilds. But the Fae themselves don't necessarily require um, nature. You see Fae all out throughout Los Angeles, New York, Atlanta. Fae inhabit the city just as much, if not more, than they inhabit the wilds. So no, if you wish to work with the Fae, you can easily do that. In fact, that's one of the first things that the Fae are drilling in my head on this Fae path working, is that trying to force the Fae to stay in the woods, they're getting tired of it. They're actually starting to be insulted because they feel as if we're relegating them to, you stay here, don't come near the town. Um, and I can see how that would be insulting. I could, because I love camping. I absolutely love camping. But if I want to go in town to do something, whether it be bowling or laser tag or have a nice dinner with my wife, go see a movie, um, go to a concert, whatever it may be that we need to go into town for, I want to be allowed to go in town and have fun. How about y'all? And the Fae actually are in the same thing. So, yeah, you can easily do that. Good questions. Luna, I'm in an area where um, city and forest combine. Would that attract different Fae or the same walk back and forward, just dragging their shiny things? Pretty much the latter, Luna. There are certain Fae um, that may prefer um, certain areas and forests, but that doesn't mean that they won't venture into a city. I know one individual in Dallas that has actually encountered a unicorn, which is a fey creature, in Dallas. I know another person who encountered a centaur from the Fae in frickin' Seattle. Um, and there was another one that encountered a satyr in Los Angeles. Now, personally, I avoid Los Angeles. Um, so, but yeah, it's you there you may find certain ones that are more rare, but they will still wander in because they're just as curious as the rest. Curiosity is kind of a trait of all fae. Let's see. Is that Dupree? I'm glad I caught you live. Anyway, I can get a hold of you. I have a question that I only need to speak to you on. If you need to, you can email me at workingdragonmystic@gmail.com, or you can join the Discord group. Both ways are pretty easy ways to get a hold of me. Email's generally the best these days because I always have to check my email for work. And there are days where, like Saturdays or during the week, if I'm trying to catch up on filming, I don't get into Discord. But yeah, email might be the better way. And I'll try and get back with you as quick as I can. But again, like I said at the start of stream, I am so far behind right now. We are doing the best we can to catch up. This time of year, actually, pretty much from now to the end of the year, I'll be doing 18-hour days, 6 days a week, probably 7 days some weeks. Let's see. I'm still from Denmark. That's pretty far away from the U.S. Yeah. Denmark is way over there. That is. Hey, we still love having you. Mugs up to you. What are your thoughts on these so-called witch wars, causes, and solutions to end them? I think they're stupid. There you go. I said it. I think witch wars and wars like this are absolutely stupid. Um, does war have a place in the multiverse and a reason? Yep. But wars over magical practice, no, those are stupid. That's like saying, I'm going to have a war because we both breathe. See, magic is magic, period. Yes, different practitioners use different processes or different theories and different ideals to reach and manifest the same stuff ultimately. But if it's yielding results, like I said before, it doesn't matter. And you do have a lot of gatekeepers, and you do have a lot of people who are getting upset because, well, people like me are like, you know what? People need help. You need information. I have no oaths. I can share information. Let's do this. Um, and it's arrogance, it's ego. That's all this is, and it's foolish. As to end it, I don't think we can, and here's why. In all my years within the magical community, um, I cannot think of one magical community where I have not come up against ego, arrogance, pride, and just a large dose of narcissism. I really haven't. Now, that's not to say everyone in there, because you do have individuals that have overcome these concepts, but these are not the individuals starting these wars. No. But you do have these individuals who have put themselves up on this pedestal as I am a third degree master, blah, blah, blah. And their ego is really writing checks and getting them into trouble. And um, one thing about humanity, I don't foresee humanity ever fully conquering pride, ego, and arrogance. I don't see it. And as long as those things are there, stuff like that's going to happen. I really don't think we can stop them. It's one of the flaws of humanity that is built into us as something we have to overcome in order to help us grow. And sadly, there's a lot of the people who try to claim enlightenment that honestly they're the worst off and need to do the most growth. Oh, we jumped. Let's see what we got here. See, Jamie, I'm new to witchcraft, have a strong connection to the goddess and god, but don't know if I consider myself Wiccan or not. Any thoughts? No reason to consider yourself Wiccan. There are plenty of practicing witches out there who work with the god and goddess. Um, they do not follow the Wiccan Rede. They practice witchcraft. Witchcraft, by definition, is essentially a natural form of magic, primarily using low magic herbalism, potions, and the like, using working with the basic four elements, and sometimes working with spirit, and bringing those things into balance in your life. If you wish to practice witchcraft and not be Wiccan, you do that, and you definitely dig out that path. Um, and actually, this is a really good topic for tonight because witchcraft being one of those large nature-based religion or magical practices. See, witchcraft is the magic side, and Wicca is the religion side. Now, a lot of people who practice witchcraft still have a certain spiritual practice built in there, and that's fine and dandy. Obviously, we're worshiping or connecting with the god and goddess. Many people might call it religious, some might call it spiritual. Either way, um, but you do not have to be Wiccan to practice witchcraft. So, by all means, go right ahead and forge your own path, Jamie. And I hope to see you around here more, and hopefully, we can help you in any way we can. If you are new, check out our Magical Basics playlist. You'll probably find a lot of things in there that could help jumpstart your practice. Um, Another great thing is below most of my videos, I link a series of books by Christopher Pencak called The Temple of Witchcraft. It's in a very eclectic approach to magic, and there's a lot of great information in those 4 books. I'd also recommend reading those. Let's see. Debris, yes, workingdragonmystic@gmail.com. That's the email. That is the work email. So, if I'm saying it too quickly, you can go to the About section, and it's also in the About section. You can find the email there. I don't do much hiding from my viewers. I'm pretty open. So thank goodness I'm growing herbs from the. I'm getting behind on these questions here. Oh, be sure to give us a thumbs up, people. Give us a thumbs up. It helps us out. Lets YouTube know you like the work we're doing. We got 19 people in here and only 13 thumbs. We need more thumbs. How about that? We actually found a situation where it's good to be all thumbs. Let's see here. Sorry, dad joke. Yeah, Texas, Arizona, that heat can get rough out there. It can. Yeah, I'm just not. It's amazing because when I help someone with their garden, I'm great at gardening, but if with houseplants, I suck. I don't know what the problem is. And as far as keeping a garden, I really just don't have the drive to do it at this point in time. The Discord link is in the About section, Dupree. Let's see. Wildfire, is it okay to email you or PM you regular questions about really? Um, it is. It is. I won't lie. Like I said earlier, I am getting a little overwhelmed just because of the time of year it is. So please be patient with me. There are normally like the first half of the year, I'm really good at staying on top of questions. But we do have an individual in the server, very curious individual, got lots of questions. I actually had to give them a question limit during the week because I just I couldn't keep up with them, and I was feeling bad about just leaving them hanging. So, do be patient with me on that. Please be patient with me because unless I can start shoving email questions off to other people that I trust to answer them, I'm a one man show. And I actually tried to get Raven, one of my instructors and teachers, and she laughed and said, "No, you started this." It's like, well, that was nice. Stuart, maybe jealousy. Yes, jealousy would also be a good example of what would be causing those witch wars. Yes. Uh, just Jim. Hey, good evening. Cheers to you too, Stuart. Let's see what we got. I am way behind here. Maybe I'm not way behind. Hold on. Did I jump and miss something or what? Great, my main man. So glad to see you again. About spirits, deities, you name it. Are you? Are they only a part of the subconscious slash psyche, or are they dependent from humans? Um, I actually did a video on this, Gerson. If you go check it out, we talk about entities, subconscious or real. If you go to the video section and click it, you'll find it. And honestly, this is probably one of the great questions that myself and other magicians love to talk about, love to debate, and love to get weird on because honestly and truly, there's no way to know for sure. There's no way to absolutely positively know for sure. Um, and it's interesting because you got magicians who go different directions. Because for me, I started out thinking 100% subconscious, period. But I didn't care because I'm still getting results. And then you got people who start out thinking they're absolute real entities. What happened? Well, for me personally, as I worked with different entities of nature and of different planes, but very much the nature ones, which is why I went ahead and took your question, even though we're on a nature topic here, is the more and more I worked with these nature entities, the more I realized they were giving me information that I couldn't necessarily know myself. And of course, I know in science we talk about this concept of energy sharing information. Think of the Galapagos monkeys, I believe it was. Um, but it's one of those interesting concepts. But the more I interacted with more entities, the more independent and real they felt to me. So my perspective, my perception of them has shifted to the point where I do think they are more likely real, not part of my subconscious. However, I've actually seen other magicians do the exact opposite flip, where they start off thinking it's a separate entity, and due to the interactions and the way things happen, they end up convinced it's the subconscious. The reason this particular conversation is such a fun one for magicians who are mature, by the way, is it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. If you're getting the results, if you're manifesting the life you want, if your path is functioning and you are constantly getting those results and you're moving forward, doesn't matter. Does not matter. And that's one of the reasons, like the Norse system, I love so much. Because if you look into Norse magic, not Norse Wicca, you'll see that the gods and goddesses in the Norse, they teach you to do crap for yourself. They ain't got time to be sitting around here just granting your wishes and your prayers. They want to teach you to do it. They want to give you the power to do it. And I think that concept really resonated with me. And that's one of the reasons I absolutely loved Norse magic. But I hope that answers your question. I would definitely encourage you to go check out the video. I think I did a lot better job explaining it all in the video. Let's see here. Yeah, and for those people who's like, it's a dry heat, it's still freaking hot. I don't care if it's a dry heat, wet heat. I don't care. It's hot. Let's see, Bruno. One thing I've been wondering on, and how would we determine the best course of action when doing any magic to affect the weather. Like, let's say, sometime next week, I need it to not rain and be cooler. How would we go about it so that it also doesn't mess with the patterns too much? Think about the time, think about the quantity. So, if you need the weather next week to not rain, so let's say you and your girlfriend go on a picnic, you can lay the little blanket out, get your basket, have your wine, do the whole romantic movie thing. That's fine. You could even stop the rain in that area where you plan your date for a whole day, and the rebalance shift for that minute thing isn't going to be that big of a deal. That's not a lot to hold back. But there's a difference in adjusting that, like taking a wet season and giving you one dry day, and taking a drought and dropping a monsoon of rain on it that's big enough to put out a forest fire. That will flood the hell out of a place. So look at it in size and repercussion balance. Think of it that way. Because if I drop a pebble in a lake, no one cares, right? No one cares. Now, if my big old booty got up on the high dive and cannonballed right next to the side of the deep end when everybody's laying there suntanning, you think they're going to notice? Oh, yeah, they're going to notice, because my pebble didn't cause a disturbance, but I guarantee you that cannonball is going to get everyone's attention when they get splashed. Similar concept when you're doing weather magic, mate. There's some things. No problem, go Sam. I love that topic. I really do. It's actually one that keeps coming up in the server because we got a lot of entity questions, and it's one of those things I continue to point out. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. So I never understood why people fight over this particular topic. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Birdie. Okay, girl, you got it. All right, Birdie. You saw people say not to use meat in magic because cruelty in the meat industry puts bad energy into the food. Is that a natural topic? That is very much a natural topic. Yes, it could also be ethic. Here's the thing. This is something people seriously have a vast disconnect on. Nature is cruel. Period. Nature doesn't give a rat's patootie about your feelings. And seriously, it doesn't. The meat industry is actually probably going to be far, far less cruel, even, I won't say the worst of it, but by and large, than Mother Nature herself. Because Mother Nature, when it comes time to kill a critter and eat, she don't care. No care is given. Mother Nature is definitely one that has animals actually slaughter their young just because it's convenient. That's how they control populations. That's how they remove defects, all these things. And when we're talking about this, I mean, let's look at how stupid humans are, okay? So we all talk about global warming. Oh, God, it's going to kill us. It might. It ain't going to kill this planet. It might kill us. That's our arrogance. But two, we completely choose to ignore the number one natural threat to the human race. And that's humans. Regardless, let's say tomorrow we just wave a magic wand, global warming, environmental issues, no longer an issue. They're fixed. Why? We still have a problem because we are at a population point where our resources are finite. And the population's still growing, which means that finite resource is dwindling further and further and further. We have turned into a disease. We are consuming the environment at a rate in which it won't sustain us, and we are doing nothing to counter this. Nature, in all its cruelty, is intelligent enough to be like, nope, I need to correct this, and it does. Humans do not. Now, That to me is true cruelty because you are condemning not only human but other species to eradication based on your own arrogance and selfishness because you're not willing to do what needs to be done to actually better the people and yourself. Now, I'm not saying there's an easy solution to that. In fact, most of the solutions to that go to a very dark and disturbing concept, let's be honest. But nature is cruel. That's just the simple facts. Um, Now, if a person has a personal ethic issue with that, don't use it. But I'll be honest with you. You all know I did a whole dietary experiment and whatnot. Some of the vlogs I didn't touch on, which might be interesting videos to film now that this has popped up, is we actually checked the energy in meat that was supposedly ethically sourced, grass fed, grass raised, the whole organic spiel. And just meat from Walmart, meat from Kroger, meat from any random big package store you could get, not grass fed, just standard stuff. Energy was exactly the same. Exactly the same. The price, the cost on the label, that was different. That was different. And honestly, most people who are pushing this, they're pushing an agenda. It has nothing to do with magic. It's strictly an agenda. Um, so yeah, I don't support that. Now, if an individual chooses to do so because, you know, I know people who they're vegetarians or vegans because the ideal of eating animals and them getting hurt, it's an ethical thing. They don't push it on other people, but they make that personal choice. That personal choice is a personal choice, and I will support you for that. If you come to my house, you let me know your restrictions. I will cook something for you always. I'll make sure something's there, as long as you ain't trying to push your beliefs onto me. But as far as magic and makes no difference, none at all. Hope that cleared that up, Bertie. Good question. Ooh, you brought out the big guns with that one. Woo. Let's see. Try heat. Yeah, try heat. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Let's see. Do-do-do-do. Uh, uh, the website don't always send me my messages. The best way is through email or Discord. So Wildfire asks, "Oh, that's a good one. Okay, with the weather magic thing, what about doing a spell to slightly alter the course of a big storm to protect our home and area? Big spell, but is still bad for balance wise." Yes, here's the thing. When you do a spell to protect your home, you do not want to take and just move the storm. You want to reduce the storm and spread it out over a larger area. And by doing this and dispersing it, that balance is maintained. Yes, you're still going to get wet. Yes, you're still going to get some wind, but you're going to disperse it because if you take all that energy and push it over here, think of it this way. If you try to just push a lake to the side, something's going to, and you push half the water over here. Yes, you're standing on dry ground, but this water behind you is about to slam in behind you. So it's better to disperse it and reduce it over a larger area to protect your home as opposed to just move it. Because if you just move the whole thing, that energetic rebalance has to be equal to it. So whatever happens to rebalance it will be equal. And believe me, that rebalance, it's a bitch. Yes, it's all about those small changes. And people don't understand how powerful those small changes are. Um, they are like the storm. Again, if you just spread it out over a larger area, since it lowers the wind, it lowers the rain amount, and spreading it over a larger area, no effects. It's just like a rainy day or a heavy rain, something like that. Far better. Oh, and we jumped. Let's see. Try to ethically source my work. I don't. Okay, yeah. There's nothing wrong with trying to ethically source those. Seriously, if that's something you personally want to do, by all means, do it. I think you'll actually find it quite useful, because the more comfortable you are with your materials, the better. Like me, I don't use a lot of herbs, and when I do, I usually get them from the grocery store because they're just easier to grab a hold of. Um, some of them, like mugwort, I can't buy in the spice aisle. And I'll be honest, my local grocer don't carry mugwort tea, so I'm going to get it where I can get it, and usually it's from Amazon. Um, but little things like that, you do have to, you got to make decisions. But the thing is, the source isn't going to affect the magic. You can affect the magic. If you have a personal bias, a personal belief or something against an item, ironically, whether the item contains it or not, you're going to place it in the item. So that's the kicker. You're the kicker. You're the thing that changes it. Let's see. You only push carrots. Luna. Hey, Tori. Glad you could join us. Mugs up. Hey, Angela. Welcome. Ooh, we need more coffee here, people. Give me a second. There we go. See, Garcon, if you could decide where you would go after your transition from Earth, where would you go? Well, first off, I don't think I will stay any one place long. I'm always been a rambler, always been a person who travels, and I don't foresee that changing. So there's that. But that sounds like a cop out to your question. So let's assume I'm staying in one place. Giving that criteria, if I have to choose right now, I'm probably going to say Helheim. I've worked with the Norse for a very long time. I've seen the different halls and everything. And I know that if I'm in Helheim, I can still visit Freya's Hall, Thor's Hall, and the like. So I won't be missing any of my friends, family, loved ones, or anything like that. And I'll be honest with you, despite what the modern imagery of Helheim is, it is not this dark, gloomy, desolate wasteland. It is absolutely freaking beautiful. It does have some bad parts for bad people, but for everyone else, it's a freaking paradise. And I adore Hell herself. I work with her quite a bit. I adore her. She is definitely a dear friend and ally of mine. So I would be totally down for spending my eternity with such a wonderful friend. Let's see. So, all right, real quick, do we have any other nature questions before I start taking some of these others? Actually, Haas, the way it dies actually is part of traditions. It's not a universal thing. So, on a magical side, that's not necessary unless it's part of a particular tradition. Yes, like for Norse practice, for example, if you're going to do a bloat rite or something, you should humanely and ethically respect the animal and kill it as such. Which I grew up on a farm, so anytime I do any of my own slaughtering or butchering, it's always humane. Um, and traditionally within the Norse rites, that respecting the animal, thanking it for its sacrifice, all that is standard. However, outside that tradition, the animal, the meat, the energy would stay the same. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but unfortunately, it's true. See, Angela, I remember in one of your videos you mentioned doing weather magic with one of the nine rulers. That made me smile when I heard that. Yeah, I have done weather magic with the nine rulers. In fact, in Dragon Magic 102, one of the dragons in there specializes in weather magic and teaches you how to understand it and work with it in its balance. And it teaches you to work in that balance to get some tremendous effects. Um, and I'll be honest, that little dragon has taught me to do things with weather I didn't think would be originally possible. So for those in Dragon Magic 102, when you meet that particular dragon, you're going to have some fun, especially if you're interested in weather magic. Yeah, see, I've gotten to the point I don't really use a lot of materials in general in my practice. Um, my practice has gravitated more to a self power. So I don't reach for herbs. I don't reach for candles anymore. In fact, you know what? One of the things me and my wife are working on is actually downsizing and getting rid of stuff we just don't use. There's stuff in this house we'll never use it in 5 years. We're trying to get rid of that crap. Um, and many of you know I have a ritual room. I'm actually getting rid of my ritual room. I am. I have no need for it. Um, After I did that year-long Norse path working, which I'm planning to repeat, the simplicity of Norse magic and the wisdom that Odin taught me about magic, not just Norse magic, but magic as its whole, got me away from that singular position, fancy schmancy, needing all the bells and whistles, to a much simpler, much more potent, distilled magic. And I rarely find myself ever going into that room. And when I go in there, there's only like two or three items in that room that I actually use. I could actually take that entire room down, put a cabinet in the corner, and everything I need is done. Boom. So there's no reason to have that room. And we are looking to potentially turn that into a guest room or something, but not a ritual room. And we will be downsizing it drastically. So yeah, I've actually gotten to the point where I don't really use them. Most of the herbs I use in magic are only when I'm doing kitchen magic. See, that's one of the reasons we're hoping these topics this month will be some fun. Like I said, I don't know if we'll have as many nightly viewers because people they don't like when we have to stay on topic. But at the same time, I think sometimes doing a topic stream is a good thing, and we may try to do a topic once a month afterwards too. We'll see. Or if we have like this week, this came strictly from my email. People sending me questions, and I agree. It's a great topic, and it is something that I think needs covered more. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with taking your environment seriously. Don't get me wrong on that. I don't. I personally do not think humans are a threat to the planet. If anything, we're a threat to ourselves, but not the planet. Um, but at the same time, to forcefully connect magic and environmentalism is that's inaccurate. And y'all know me. If there's an inaccuracy, I generally want to speak up. It's like I can't keep my mouth shut. It's a bad thing. I personally believe hunting should have some ethic, like don't shoot nursing animals with other animals. Well, yes, I agree, Angela. There should be some ethics in there. There really should. Outside of a drastic starvation survival situation, I believe that you should have some ethics in hunting. And like that right there, what you just said, I would never pull the trigger there or let go of my arrow in that case. Now, in a survival situation, if I'm starving, I'm taking the shot because it's them or me in that situation. But But that's why it's called ethical, because you're making a decision based on a situation. Ethics are not a hard drawn line that's the same every day, because the situation can actually change that into different things for different reasons. And there's a difference in hunting and survival. I know a lot of people who hunt every hunting season to supply their family with meat, and they do follow very, very, very ethical practices. Um, in fact, when I hunt, if I take an animal, it's going to be every part of that animal used, bones, everything. Nothing goes to waste. So I maintain a very ethical process. I actually love animals probably more than humans. I respect them far more because, like I said, animals care about their environment. Animals do what they have to maintain it for the most part. The reason I support hunting so much is there are animals that would actually overpopulate and destroy environments, and then the animal itself suffers. So it's that cycle of nature and that balance. And I do think that that should be maintained ethically as well. That's a very good point, Angela. Very good point. Now, just because I believe it's ethical doesn't mean that, like before, where I said it doesn't change the energy of the item. Um, which I kind of wish it did, because then that would give us more leverage to push for the ethical practices. But at the same time, perhaps it's good it doesn't, because you shouldn't need to be pushed into an ethical standard. You shouldn't need to be pushed over here into that. Um, some people are just dicks. Some people are just jerks. And I think it's good that the world allows us to see who those horrible people are. That's good to hear, Tori. That is good to hear. Tori asked Drake, do you ever think you will happen to do a program on Norse magic like you did on Dragon Magic 101? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is something me, Freya, Odin, Loki, Thor have all been talking about a lot. And one of the reasons I said I'm going to be repeating that Norse pathworking that I did before, there will be some changes to it this time. It won't be following the same exact path working, but it's going to actually, from what Odin's saying, it's going to be far more intense. Um, and yes, it is something that we are planning to film and do similar to the Dragon Magic 101. At this time, will it be a single course or multiple courses? I don't really know. I do know we will be working with a lot of the gods. Heimdall's already got his head in there too. Um, as does Sif, Bragi. Let's see, someone else. Yord has his hand in there as well. So does Freyr. Freyr's going to have his hand in there. I've actually been talking with many of the dark elves and the light elves from Norse mythology. They're going to want their own specific focus as well. And Heimdall's made it very, very clear that we're going to be focusing and talking not just about these entities and just the individual magics themselves, but he actually wants to go in and do like path workings with each of the nine realms. So, I mean, Heimdall's getting ready to throw us into a lot on that. So, I don't know what the layout is, but man, are they wanting to do a lot with this. And I myself, just on a personal level, am uber excited about it. But yes, that is something that has been talked about a lot. I do not have not even a remote concept of when that might happen, but it is something that is in the works. Let's see. You have the ritual that honors the Azure, the Vanir, the land spirits. Any other suggestions of honor the land spirits aside from that and occasionally food offerings? Clean up, take care of the land, take care of it. Like, this is a funny story, Luna. I was told that an area had been clear cut, and when I went out to see it, I found out it wasn't clear cut at all. It wasn't clear cut at all. All they did was they come in and removed all the underbrush, the dead stuff that could catch fire and burn the freaking area down. So they actually cleaned the area up. They removed the underbrush and stuff. How people think this is clear cutting, I don't know. Um, but take the time to go out to a park or to the woods near you, pick up some trash, remove some of that underbrush, care for nature, and the land spirits themselves will be grateful. Help maintain their area. Those are great ways to do it as well. See, Birdie, Dragon Magic has been one of the most powerful magics I've ever worked with, and so grateful to Drake and his channel, and plan on doing Dragon Magic 101 and 101. Oh, Birdie, thank you. Thank you. That's sweet. Mugs up to you. That is very true, Angela, and that is dead on. You have to have something out of balance. You have to have something out of whack. You got to have a bad day to enjoy a good day. You have to have that perspective. Without the perspective, you'll never know. You will never know. You're blinded to the entirety if you don't have the perspective. That is wise, very wise. Mugs up on that one, Angela. I know Jade's getting ready to flag me for time, so let me check these last few. Yes, Tori, we will be sharing us a Norse that Norse path working as soon as I get it done. Depending, I know Odin's wanting to sit down and hammer out some more on it once we finish the tarot one. So take this with a grain of salt, Tori. A grain of salt. As you know, the Dragon Magic 103 is going to be delayed to make sure people take the time to get 101 and 102 done, because 103, we turning the volume up big time. So it's possible we may start the filming for the Norse one before 103, which I think would be pretty cool personally. I really do. But yeah. Of course, we also got to talk to the Fae Queens, because they got fast workings they want film too. Oh my God. I'm a busy, busy man. Which is good to be busy. At least I ain't bored, right? Let's see, what is this? Fitan? Do I think some of these natural disasters, earthquakes, are caused by? Yes, yes, I do. In fact, I can think of several situations of flooding that was caused by overzealous use of weather magic in an attempt to fix something that was a natural process. Like if you live in California or Australia, there is just a point where during the dry season, things burn. Believe it or not, fire is a natural process. It really is. We may not like it. It may be dangerous to where we build our homes. It may affect the air quality. It may cause those effects, but it's still a natural process. Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not natural. And I've got a lot of friends in Australia, and they actually laugh at the way Americans view it, because their dry season, it's the dry season. Yes, bushfires happen. Yes, they suck. Yes, they are destructive. Some years are worse than others. But they also know that that dry season serves its purpose. And when you get a massive, massive torrential rain during a dry season that comes down so fast, that water has to go somewhere, and that's going to quickly cause flooding until the land can catch up with it. Like at my dad's property growing up, his property had a lot of sandstone, just very low underneath the topsoil. So any rain, his yard would flood. It'd look like a pool. But when the rain stopped, within 3 or 4 hours, it was dry, because that sandstone does not absorb water as quick as dirt. So it would definitely create a flooding like situation. And that's something that the property had to be built around. We had to understand this concept when we built there. Or you would have absolute destruction of the property because well, the sandstone just don't soak up water. And it wouldn't take much rain to cause this either. It would not take much rain to cause this. So you got to be aware of factors like that in nature. And a lot of people today, they want to say they understand nature, but they couldn't survive a week in the woods with a backpack unless they're driving an RV. They seriously don't understand nature. And that's kind of a sad thing, especially when you're trying to wield magic to affect nature and you don't understand it. So, but yeah, I really do. I really, really do, VTan. I really do. All right. So Jade just hit me with the clock. Thank you, Jade. So we will get ready to head on out of here. Stay tuned. We will see you on Sunday. Sunday, tell you what, we didn't get to in general Q&A this week, so Sunday we'll keep Magical Coffee Hour to a general Q&A. If you have further questions about nature and magic, bring those to the coffee hour as well. We'll still talk about those if you want. As always, we release a new video every Tuesday. Be sure to check it out. Last week, we released a Samhain video to give you a general, quick, and easy practice for Samhain and how you might be able to start your own personal practice with some of the meanings and ideals. And I shared some of the things that me and the wife do here. Also, I don't know if y'all know this. Some of you do, some of you don't. Me and my daughter, we started a Goofy channel, Dad and Daughters D&D. It's us showing the lighter side, a bit goofy, something her and I can do together. And we are releasing videos over there. Not metaphysical. It's just goofy because it's D&D. It's Dungeons and Dragons. You get to see a lighter side of me. On here, I got to be a bit more serious. Got to be a bit more professional. We're very focused on the real magic. So if you want to get goofy and have some laughs, come over there. We actually are filming the audio of the new campaign we're doing, so you can actually listen in at how stupid and unprofessional these games get. And laugh along with us and perhaps laugh at us. And she actually does these amazing summaries of the games, and she has so much energy. She actually does better videos than me, if you ask my opinion. But if you are interested, we'd love to your support. Come on over, have some laughs with us. And with that, everybody, I am going to sign off here. I'm going to go get some more coffee, probably have some dinner. I might even try to take a day off tomorrow. Who knows? We'll see. And I'll see y'all Sunday for Magical Coffee Hour. All right? Take care. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Good night.